The 7 investigators have been out front exposing the secret stashes of cash funded by mystery donors used to help state lawmakers.
And tonight they have uncovered exclusive information that's already raising a lot of eyebrows in Lansing and across the state. Here's investigator Ross Jones.
This story is about what's been hidden under the Capitol dome. Millions of dollars flying around Lansing, coming from corporations and special interest groups trying to influence the people you put into office. This is a story they didn't want you to see.
Senator Meekoff.
Thank you, Mr. President.
For Senate Republicans, there may not be a better secret weapon than the Michigan Jobs and Labor Fund.
If you want to get something done, look to Ken Horn.
It pays for things like ads, polling, and research, and can accept unlimited donations that can be shared with Senate candidates. Both parties have funds like these, allowed to keep donors and expenses hidden from you. And when we caught up with Senate Republicans earlier this month, it seemed like a mystery to them, too.
The Jobs and Labor Fund?
Jobs and Labor Fund. I'm not, you got to give me more than that.
It's an educational fund
I believe, I'm really not even sure.
You'd think they'd remember this. The fund has raised more than $1.5 million between 2009 and 2012, and it's been raising a lot more ever since. Which brings us to one of its biggest donors and what happened this month in Lansing.
There will be a Republican caucus.
And even before senators took up fixing our roads earlier this month, they tackled Senate Bill 1073, sponsored by Senate Majority Leader Randy Richardville. This bill is designed to favor only one company, McLaren Health System. The company's trying to build a brand new facility, transferring 200 beds from its underutilized hospital in Pontiac to a new site in wealthier Independence Township. Richardville says a new hospital will help an underserved population in northern Oakland County while creating jobs and spurring new economic development. But to get the green light for the new hospital, McLaren needed approval from Governor Snyder's Department of Community Health.
Why did the state say no?
There isn't a need. There wasn't an additional need for those beds or services in the area.
In fact, there are 8 hospitals within 30 minutes of where McLaren wants to build theirs, an area that the state says already has nearly 1,200 beds too many. Adding another hospital, say officials, could actually drive up the cost of health care in the region. And plenty of other groups oppose the deal too, more than 90 in all. So after the state said no, McLaren filed a lawsuit here in Oakland County Circuit Court trying to push the deal through. But a judge said no, and when McLaren appealed, they lost there too. So McLaren threw a Hail Mary, coming here to the state legislature and convincing lawmakers to write a bill that would go around the Snyder administration and let them build that new hospital. And here's where it gets interesting. It was around the same time we've learned that McLaren started sinking huge checks into that Jobs and Labor Fund, making multiple sizable payments, we've learned, with checks totaling 6 figures, donations you weren't supposed to know about, but we've uncovered.
They are one of the biggest donors to this fund. Yesterday, you introduced some legislation that would benefit only them. Is that just a coincidence?
Yeah, well, they're not tied together if that's what you're asking.
Campaign finance expert Rich Robinson isn't as sure.
I think things happen for a reason. Money is applied in the right ways at the right times to achieve policy goals. And if you can't see where it is, it makes you wonder.
And McLaren's biggest motivation, according to critics, is profit. By moving beds out of poorer Pontiac and into the more wealthy Independence Township, McLaren stands to make more money.
You clearly have a higher insured population, and there's more dollars in Independence Township than there is in Pontiac, and I think we all know that. It appears that profits are a motivation in this decision.
But money, says Senator Richardville, wasn't a motivation in his decision. He says he'll continue to push this bill through, even though the proposed hospital is more than an hour from his district.
Whatever people might say about it is what they say about it. I've been pretty public, pretty open, and unafraid to explain why I think it's the right thing to do at this point of time.
Sources say the bill could be voted on as soon as next Tuesday. As for McLaren, we've been trying to reach them for comment for more than a week. Our calls and emails to President Phil Incarnati and Vice President Greg Lane have not been returned.
So does this have the votes to pass that bill you're talking about?
Well, I kind of think that if they had the votes when they first brought this up, they would have voted. It's close from everything I can tell, but this is lame duck. They make a lot of deals right now. They've got a lot of time.
Nobody has to answer to them later.
They don't have to. They got nobody to worry about voting for or against them. So
Just when it's slide it on in.
Anything can happen. We'll be watching closely.
All right, Ross. Thank you.